These are my Ray-Ban Metas. I'm going to be showing you guys how I do some of my meal prep. Starting off with some mango. It's down like that. Same with the other side. Just chop this up like so. Come in like this. Chop this up. Again, I'm not like doing a Michelin star meal. So plates here. I'm just going to be doing 4 breakfasts this week. Alright, so onto the eggs. I'm going to do boiled eggs. So first things first. Luckily we've got a tap, which is like hot water directly from the tap. So get the water in here. Got the boiling water. This is an induction heater, so go all the way up to P, but I tend to put it on 13. What I'll do now is I'll put the eggs in. I tend to put one in and then I like try and rest the egg on top, and then it just drops like that. We do these for maybe 6 minutes or so, sometimes a little bit longer. So that's that. Then normally just put a bit of salt in there. In the meantime, what I normally do is I get a bowl and I put ice in it. As soon as the eggs are done, I normally just put them in like very cold water with ice in to cool them down straight away. This stops them from overcooking. Bit of ice. You've got the ice there, because once the eggs go in there and take them out, I kind of want to dry them off a little bit. The eggs are boiling, we've got the chopped mango, ice balls ready for them to cool down. Now let's do the wilted spinach. Wilted spinach, even though there looks like a lot there, it will just shrink really quickly. I typically use 1 calorie spray. Oil, like 1 spoon, can be like around 120 calories, so if you start whacking that in there, you're just going to increase your calories so much. Typically put that on a decently high heat, and I'll just let it sit there until it starts to decrease in size. Then I'll start adding herbs. I tend to use 100 grams of spinach per meal. This chicken's already cut up for the most part, so I might actually just leave it like this for this week. Plus, when it's in the pan, you can kind of get away with sort of chopping it up as it's cooking. So make sure whenever you're touching raw meat to wash your hands. See the spinach is starting to wilt down a lot. Back to the chicken. So I'm going to use some basil for this to start to like fold this all up. You don't want to be cutting basil too thin, but you want to like press it down to release like all the aromas. Chop and change. Yeah, the smell on this is phenomenal. I kind of just tend to tip it all in like that to absorb some of the water. Got that for now. As you can see, the spinach, look how much water comes out, right? So there's quite a lot. Take the tissue out, throw this away. Yeah, I tend to just keep patting the spinach out, because the worst thing is, especially with meal prep with spinach, what you tend to find even in the fridge, the water will start to pull over to the plate. So that's why it's kind of like essential to dry out the spinach as much as you can. So yeah, I tend to just grab it there. Now I'll just add a bit of spinach to the plate. Right, so that's the mango and the spinach. Okay, so what I tend to do is I'll just kind of get them all into there, and then I'll put them into the bowl like this to cool them straight away. So as you can see, cracked all the eggs, get all the shells, and place the eggs. So typically each large egg has about 6 grams of protein, so 6, 12, 18, you've got a bit more with the spinach, so a fairly light meal in terms of protein. I'm just going to leave these ones whole, like so. I actually think it looks more aesthetically pleasing with the eggs whole like that. Yeah, a bit of sweet structure. like that. Here is just, there's like too much yellow. This is kind of like a nice little contrast. Looks quite cute. That's breakfast done for the next 4 days. Do the chicken. So we're going to be doing basil inspired chicken. So I'm just going to add some black pepper, some salt. Also going to add not all of this Greek yogurt, some of it. Probably go to halfway. Place one slice down on each. Take the stalks off. Okay, my Ray-Bans died, so what I've done whilst they've been charging a little bit, I've got some 200 grams or so of couscous in this cold water. I've started boiling some other water ready for these peas. As you can see, I've got the tomatoes ready. I'm doing 4 meals of tuna and there's 700 grams in this. I'm just going to kind of eyeball this. So I need about 400 grams, so just about half. And tomatoes, I've got this pan heating up a bit. Normally I like to use a bit of oil, actual olive oil butter, just because I feel like it caramelizes the tomatoes a bit more. However, we're going to just be doing them with some spray oil. It will still work, but again, this is meal prep. I'm not actually cooking a proper fine dining meal. Like I can do things a lot differently. There we go, those cooking. Tuna, can opener. Let's go. Squeeze, twist. I'll just leave that there for the side for now, and I'll repeat for the same 3. I normally get this tuna in spring water just because it's better in terms of calories for you. Leave the remainder for my cat to lick the rest off. I'll probably hear him crying in a sec. Nowhere to be seen at the moment, so try and get all that water out there to a good place. After that's rinsed enough, just put them in to a bowl to mix later. Normally I do tuna with pasta, but yeah, couscous and peas, and I'll probably put herbs in there, spices, a bit of salt and pepper. Alright, so the cat is nowhere to be seen, so the tuna's actually gone in the bin this time. So again, yeah, I'll keep cooking these for a bit longer. Peas are looking good, couscous is looking good. Mix that up a bit. What I'm going to be doing with this, I'm just going to be using some lean beef mince with some peppers. Just chop the tops off to get rid of the seeds. Some people keep these bits, I kind of just throw them away. Sometimes I'll go like this, nice line through the middle. I might do lengthways today. I'm feeling them just like this, like that. Cool. So those peppers are good to go. Ginger with this beef mince, so I'm just going to cut off a little bit. Then I'm just going to chop this up into like smaller pieces. I've chopped up a bit of that ginger. Peppers are good. Let's check on the tomatoes. Yeah, and they're getting, as you can see they're kind of blistering a bit. That's kind of how I like them. These tomatoes are actually ready, so I'm just going to get the spatula, put a few of these on each wrap here. Yeah, around about 4 or so, 5 on each. Couscous was boiling, so now I'm just going to simmer that down like so. These peas are good to go, so peas go in, steaming up. Okay, good. So now that's gone in there, so all I have to do now is add the couscous to that once it's done, put in some spices and mix together. Here. Probably should have got one more pepper, but that's fine. Could have, actually, you know what? For time's sake, I'm just going to put these in here, cook them on there. Makes a lot more sense. Then what we can do is start cooking this chicken. Now it's probably got to a decent temperature. Nice. We're using a lot of yogurt. I tend to just get the water or the excess liquid and just rinse it as well. I mean, you can actually put this into a pan and make like a nice sauce, but I'm not going to do that today. Peppers are starting to get nice and cooked. I tend to char them. I just think it tastes better. Couscous is also looking good. Because of the Greek yogurt, the chicken is just like so tender. Like, look how easy it is to break apart. Chicken is pretty much done. I'm just going to cook it for a tiny bit longer. Let's put the chicken in some of these wraps like this. This one could do like a bit more. Back to it. These peppers are looking nice, so I'm just gonna put some of them in each of these. This is gonna go with the beef mince, like that. This couscous is looking nice and done. Mince as much of this out as possible. Then, well, yeah, just put it all in it like that. Mix it all together. All right, so just cleaning up a bit here. I'm gonna add the beef mince, so I can do like that. I'll then add salt and pepper to this. Start breaking it up. Yeah, let's add this ginger like this. My spice cupboard here. What else could we add? A bit of garlic. I'm not going too crazy this week, so I'm just gonna probably just add a bit of paprika to be honest. This and some more garlic. Like that. Perfect. Mix that all around, get it all nice and incorporated. Start mixing this all together. Salt and pepper. Normally I'd use more of like a lighter mayo, but this is what I've got at the moment, so just gonna like squirt a bunch of this in there like that, because tuna by itself it doesn't taste the greatest. So yeah, just incorporate all this together. So 4 meals, 4 bowls, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're just gonna fill these up. We're just breaking up a little bit more. That can start to go in these little containers like this. Again, this is very sort of low calorie meal here. Haven't added any carbs, but just making sure I'm getting enough protein. Alright, so we're almost there. So here, this is going to be for the wraps that I'm going to toast. I'm going to go over again with these with a bit more mayo on top, like that. Meantime, while my Ray-Ban's been charging, I've just done a bit of a cleaning up, put stuff in the dishwasher. Yeah, this is done. I'm just going to add a little bit of mustard over this, like this. 5 meals of these. I typically use 100 grams of beef mince for each meal, because you get like 30 grams of protein there. So those are done. These are pretty much done. I'm just going to add a bit like of a different sauce over the top as well. Bit of a zigzag effect like that. Add a little bit more black pepper. A bit more to this as well. Okay, so I mean that is pretty much it. The only thing I'm going to do now is you just take these chicken wraps like this, for example, kind of make them into almost like a burrito. I don't like these tortilla wraps from Aldi, they break pretty easily, but the ones I get from Ocado normally are not too bad. And then a bit of spray oil, face down in the pan like that. I tend to wrap these in foil. I'll put cling film over all of these, and then yeah, just put them in the fridge. I'll have those cold, but then the beef mince I'll have hot. I'll probably have that cold as well, couscous and tuna. Alright, these are cooled down now, so I'm just gonna, this is how I tend to store the food. So I'll just be doing this with all of these meals, for example. Alright, so even though these looks a bit burnt, I actually like them like this. It's nice and toasted. So I'll put this in here and then kind of just wrap it up like so. As you can see here, I've completed the meal prep now, so I'm going to have these 2 wraps for today, and then one of the beef mince, and then I've got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday for each meal. So yeah, to recap, 3 boiled eggs, spinach and mango, chicken, basil inspired wraps of tomatoes, bit of cheese, bit of wimpy sauce, then giant couscous, which I don't think I'll use much again, tuna and peas, a bit of mayo and sriracha, and then lean beef mince with some red peppers, a bit of mustard. So yeah, and then pretty much all tidied up here as well. So there we go. Just need to wash the surfaces and stuff later.